Hello everyone, this is Jutika and welcome to your second CSS tutorial. Today let's talk about adding some colors to a web page. The color and background color properties are used quite often in CSS to change the color of text and background color of an element. They can take many different types of color values. And there are four main basic color conventions that people use in CSS: color names, hexadecimal values, RGB values, and HSL values. The first way is to simply use the color name or the English word for the color like blue, green, red, etc. But there are also other keywords that may not immediately come to mind, such as salmon, aquamarine, or slate blue. So how do we know which keywords are valid? Well, we can look at the W3C documentation, but my favorite is the W3 School's color reference page. It's a great visual reference and lists all of the available color names. These work and they will show up fine on your page. But the problem is that they are not very consistent across browsers. What's yellow to one browser is not the exact same shade of yellow to another browser. So in general, it's best to avoid color names. If you are just testing something and want to see stuff immediately on the screen, no problem. Use red, yellow, blue. But later you might want to switch to the other ways of writing color values which are consistent across different browsers. So another way to add colors is to use their hexadecimal values. Hexadecimal values can be written using 16 digits. So you can use 0 to 9, but then also A, B, C, D, E and F. And F is kind of like the strongest, most powerful number you can use. The hexadecimal color values start with a pound sign followed by either 3 or 6 digits. The examples I have here for you are 6 digits. And the way it works is that the first two slots are for red, next two for green, and the last two for blue. The bigger the number you put in there, the more red, green or blue you will see. So for example here, pound sign FF0000 is displayed as red because the red slot is set to its highest value FF and the other slots are set to the lowest value 00. Similarly, here the green is set to the highest and here blue. On W3 School's hex reference page, you have this great tool where you can experiment with different hex values by moving this slider. Depending on how much of these different values you put in, it can change the color that's going to show up on your screen. If you wanted just the 3 digits instead of 6, then the hex value can also be abbreviated if the RGB pairs or all the values are the same. For example, pound sign F00 is the same color as pound sign FF0000 and 6 zeros are the same as 3 zeros. The next way of writing colors is by using their RGB values. Again, it's the same idea that we have here, red, green and blue. But instead of using these strange hexadecimal numbers, we use numbers from 0 to 255. It is written like this, with the word RGB, then round brackets, and inside the round brackets, you have 3 comma separated numbers between 0 and 255. The space between the commas is not a requirement, but can be added for readability. These numbers define the intensity of each color parameter. For example, RGB 25500 is displayed as red because red is set to its highest value 255 and others are set to 0. To display black, set all color parameters to 0 like this, RGB 000. To display white, Set all color parameters to 255. One of the reasons that people have been switching over to RGB is that there is another option called RGBA. RGBA color values are an extension of RGB color values with an alpha channel, which specifies the opacity for the color. The color value is specified like this: RGBA round bracket red, green, blue, alpha, closing round bracket. The alpha parameter is a number between 0 and 1 or a percentage between 0 and 100%. 0 or 0% is fully transparent and 1 or 100% is not transparent at all. So let's say I have this red color here and want to make it kind of see-through. Then I will add the A to this RGB and add the amount of transparency I want in the end. Again, on the W3 School site, you can experiment with the transparency as well. Another functional color value is HSL, which defines a color by its hue, saturation and lightness, and also includes an optional alpha component. The hue is specified as an angle within the color wheel relative to red. So red equals 0 degrees or 360 degrees, and the other colors are spread around a circle. Green equals 120 degrees and blue equals 240 degrees and so on. The value can be used with or without the degree unit. Saturation is the second value and is represented with a percentage. 100% is pure color, no shades of grey. 50% is 50% grey, but you can still see the color. 0% is completely grey. You can no longer see the color. Lightness is the third value and is also represented as a percentage. 100% lightness means full lightness, that is white. 0% lightness means no light, that is black. And 50% lightness means neither dark nor light, that is normal. The alpha channel is again the same as before and can be represented as a decimal or a percentage. Now I want to show you an interesting thing really quick on the web of how you can see and test out some of these different colors and how they are working. What I brought up here is the NFL website. If you just right click on this header and click inspect, you can see all the code they have used to build it. And if I highlight this div in the header, you can see the color they have used for the header. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on this color box right here, and as you can see, I can actually in real time kind of play with different colors I like. And you can see that it is changing the hexadecimal value for me down here. So if I wanted to, I would find the perfect color, grab that hexadecimal value and put it into my style sheet. They also give you the option of the RGBA and HSLA values as well. So you can do it either way you want. I can even go ahead and add color to other elements. For example, let's add a background color here. And as you can see, they have the actual color names, because it's very unlikely that if you were to scroll through the different hexadecimal values, you have any idea what it's talking about. And instead of actually using the word, once again I can click on that color box and it will pop up the hexadecimal value for me. I love using this inspect element while building websites because it's so much easier when you can see what's happening as you are designing it. Now, although playing with colors can get really fun, it can get really time consuming quickly because you're like, Oh, I like this color. No, this color's better. So when you are starting off, just pick a color, play with it, and keep going with it. To save time, I use this website coolers.co to generate my project's color palette. Alright, so that was all about using the different color conventions in CSS. So go ahead, have fun with the colors, use inspect element, play with the different elements of your page, and I hope that you have learned something here that's useful as you continue programming and keep styling your site. This is Jutika signing off. Until next time, keep learning and keep coding.